What's going on, everyone? For today's video, we're ranking every team in the Metal series from weakest to strongest. Now, when you hear that, you're probably thinking we're just ranking World Championship teams, which, yeah, a lot of this list is going to be World Championship teams, but we're also including teams that weren't in the World Championships. My only criteria for a team in this video is a group of 3 or more bladers who generally have battled together or worked together or trained together as a team, and there's more of these teams than I originally thought. I may have missed some, but we've got a few teams from Metal Fusion and Metal Fury in here, as well as a team from Metal Masters that wasn't even in the World Championships. So yeah, this list should be pretty interesting, but before we jump in, let's talk about how I'm going to rank these teams. I'm actually not going to be using the World Championship format, which means the criteria isn't going to be a best out of 3 match like it is in the World Championships. Instead, I'm ranking these teams based on how strong they are working together as a team. Basically, just assume 2 teams we're comparing have beef with each other and they run into each other randomly. Whoever comes out on top is who I'm considering the stronger team. So basically, a battle royale. I think this is a good way to judge it because this considers how well the team works together, and it considers all of the team's members, not just their top 3 like the World Championships. So keep in mind that this criteria is going to favor teams with more members because in a battle royale match, that would give you the advantage. However, that's not going to be the end-all be-all because, as we know, one strong blader can take out 10 mediocre ones by himself. Anyways, now we're ready to jump in. Coming in at number 20, we have Team Ota. This legendary squad is made up of Osamu, Takashi, and Akira. Not much to say here. I mean, it's a 3-man squad with generic Beyblade users. They were doomed from the start. Number 19 isn't going to be much better. We have these dudes from the Survival Battle. The only reason they're above Ota is because they have more members. They also had that special move, which is literally just surrounding Jenga and attacking him all together. I mean, what a squad. Number 18 is going to be Busajima's gang, kind of similar to the Survival Battle Goons. This squad just has strength in numbers, and no one's really that good. But hey, this is the first non-generic Beyblade user on this list with Busajima's Scorpio. Still though, they're nothing special. Number 17, I'm going to give to the Kumades. This is the 3 brothers. I'm putting them above Busajima's Goons because they have a special move. I know they're at a pretty big numbers disadvantage, but the Bear Claw Slash would take out like half of these guys in one shot. So moving on, we have the Face Hunters coming in at number 16. Notable members include Kiyoya and Benkei, and then the rest are just level 1 henchmen, or is it level 1 crook? I don't know. I will say though, Face Hunter's Kiyoya is the weakest version of Kiyoya we've ever seen, so just having Kiyoya on the team isn't going to be enough to save them. So now, moving on to number 15, we have our first non-Metal Fusion team, Team Lavushka. This one was a little difficult, but I do think with the criteria we've laid out, they are the weakest World Championship team. And based off of this poll that I posted, I think you guys kind of agree with me. I know I didn't specify that it was this Battle Royale criteria, but regardless, Alexi can't really do anything without the rigged stadium. Lyra has that move that decloaked Jigsaw, but I mean, would that be useful against anyone else? And then Nawaguma is actually okay. But overall, as a team, they have 3 members, and they're just not that good in my opinion. So then, number 14 is going to go to Desert Blaze. Gasser's alright, and then Karte and Zitane have Crow Crusher, which is a pretty solid move. And they also have more chemistry than Lavushka, which is why I would put them above. And then number 13 is going to go to the winner of the poll, Team Shandora. Now, to be honest, we don't really know how strong they are as a team, but look, they were undefeated leading up to the Wild Fang match. Take that for what you will. And then Salhan is actually one of the more underrated side characters in the show. He can create actual fire, and Burning Barrage would do damage against a lot of people. It's just his opponent happened to be Kiyoya. And then assuming his other 2 teammates aren't just completely horrible, I feel pretty good with them above Desert Blaze and Lavushka. Moving on to number 12, we have Team Garcia. This is a decent step up from our last few teams, but in the grand scheme of things, they're not amazing. They do have that family chemistry, which would make them a tough matchup for a lot of teams. And then Argo is actually pretty strong. But next up, we have a team that I thought would be a lot higher. We have Team Wang Huzhong at the 11th. This is a great team, and their chemistry is elite, but I just think that they would lose to every other team here. I'm not even knocking their strength, I just think the others are better. So next up, we have Team Excalibur, just barely cracking the top 10. I basically think in terms of a team battle, they're just a better version of Wang Huzhong. Not saying they're super similar, but Excalibur is another team with great chemistry, and their individuals compared to Wang Huzhong are just generally stronger. So now, coming in at number 9, we have Team Balin Fist from Metal Fury. To be honest, it doesn't really feel right placing them here, but besides Aguma, they're pretty average. Bao isn't anything crazy, and Johannes is just difficult to fight against. I don't think he has any serious knockout power. And then, of course, you have the Balin Fist background guys. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this, because they have Aguma. It's a legendary blader. He beat Jenga and Kiyoya, but I think in this team-formatted style, he can only take them so far. So now, moving on to number 8, we have Team Starbreaker. They're definitely above Team Wang Huzhong and Team Excalibur. I feel pretty good about that. While they only have 3 members, Damien took out 3 members of Excalibur by himself. Damien's moveset is amazing for battling multiple opponents at once, which is great for the criteria of this video. And then you got Jack and Zio, who are pretty strong in their own rights. Now, are they above Team Balin Fist? I'm kind of debating that in my mind, because Aguma is going to defeat Damien in a close fight, but then I think Jack beats any of the other members, and honestly, Zio might be able to as well. I know Johannes is difficult to fight against, but Jack just has more power, and then Zio's full power special move I think would be too much for Johannes. And then I used to think Bao was pretty strong, but rewatching the series, he's kind of just okay. I think Jack could definitely defeat him. And then on top of that, we have full power Zio, who has a crazy special move. And then he also has Destiny Needle, which is great against multiple opponents. I mean, just look at what he was able to do against Jinga and Masamune at the same time. So, I don't know. Maybe Aguma could clutch up and beat all 3 of Team Starbreaker's members with his special move, but I feel like that may be asking a lot. Definitely let me know what you think about this. I think I could definitely be convinced that Team Balin Fist would find a way. But moving on, we have number 7, Team Wildfang. I think an all-out battle between Wildfang and Starbreaker would be really close. Kiyoya could take care of Damien, but it's an extreme diff. And then I think Nile could take out Jack, but that's hard to extreme diff. And if Benkei and Demore can keep Zio occupied, I think Wildfang gets the win. It is really close though, and I understand things could play out differently, but still I think Wildfang belongs here. They do have the numbers advantage. Now, moving on to number 6, we have our final Metal Fusion team of the video, Team Dark Nebula. Not only does this team have strong members, but they have a lot of numbers. We're talking full Dark Power Ryuga, Reggie, Doji, who's a beast. Don't sleep on Doji. They have Yu, Ryutaro, Tobio, the 3 Kumades, Dan and Reiki, Tetsuya, and look, even though half of those guys aren't very good, you still have that big 3 of Reggie, Ryuga, and Doji. Also, Yu and Ryutaro are very good. So when comparing them to Team Wildfang, I think Team Dark Nebula would win simply by overwhelming them. Kiyoya and Nile are an amazing duo, but then you have Demore and Benkei, who are just kind of okay. They can work really good together, but they're not going to rival any heavy hitters. Metal Masters Kiyoya could beat Dark Ryuga, but it would take a lot out of him. And then the same thing goes for Nile and Doji. I think Nile would win, but it wouldn't be easy. And then at that point, you still have Reggie, Yu, and Ryutaro, along with the others who are kind of just there. But look, there's just too many in the Dark Nebula. I think Team Wildfang would simply get overwhelmed. This is a bad matchup for them, though, because while they do have 4 members, only 2 of them are really good, and then the other 2 are kind of just okay. Now, if all 4 members were pretty good, I would like their chances here. Like, I think if Demore and Benkei were just a little bit stronger, I would take Team Wildfang to win. But if you only have 2 really good members, I mean, you can only get so far. So now, moving on to number 5, we have our final World Championship team of the video, Team Gangan Galaxy. Considering all 4 members, they're the most skilled team in the World Championships, the most balanced. I mean, when Yu is your worst member, you know you're pretty stacked. Now, I had a very tough time between them and the Dark Nebula, but ultimately I'm taking Gangan Galaxy. First of all, half of the Dark Nebula roster could be wiped out from a full power Inferno Blast or a Star Booster attack, and then Jinga beats Ryuga with difficulty. I'd say Tsubasa beats Doji. After overcoming the Dark Power, he gets so much stronger. I will say it wouldn't be easy, but he gets the win. And then Metal Masters Yu is stronger than Metal Fusion Yu. I don't care that he fell off in Season 2. He didn't actually get any weaker. He just didn't progress as much as everyone else did. So I feel like those 2 maybe cancel each other out. And then we have Reggie and Masamune, which is another matchup. I could see that one going either way. but even if Reggie wins, he wouldn't have the strength left to realistically take anyone else out. And then you still have Ryutaro, who, in my opinion, is a wild card. I don't think he'll defeat anyone, but he could make things really difficult for Gang Galaxy. I don't know if he could catch all 4 of them in Distortion Drive. Regardless, though, I see Team Gang Galaxy making it through extreme difficulty. Now, moving on to number 4, we have a very interesting squad, Team Hades Inc. This squad is basically just the bad guys after the World Championships. We have Damien, Zio, Jack, Faust, Dr. Ziggurat, Julian, all the Garcias. I mean, this is quite the lineup. Team Starbreaker was already pretty high on their own, but now you're adding Faust, Julian, all of the Garcias. I mean, they have some heavy hitters in this squad, mixed with a decent amount of numbers. This is a nightmare matchup for most teams. We already know Damien's moveset is great against multiple bladers at once, but Faust's moveset is arguably even better. He can trap multiple people in the black hole, and I think only the top 1% of bladers could break out. So now, on to the top 3, we have Team Dungeon coming in 3rd place. This is Metal Fury Masamune, Zio, Toby, all the NPCs, and then the main heavy hitter, King. So, am I overrating these guys? Maybe. I just think King is that good. With his power, he challenged El Drago Destructor in a way we never really saw, and overall, he is a very high-tier legendary blader. He is a part of that top 1% of bladers, who I think could break out of the Spiral Dimension, and to be honest, I straight up think he could solo a lot of these squads. Let me know what you think about that. And then also, don't sleep on Blitz Striker Masamune. Maybe he had no significant wins, but he did pretty good against 2 top-tier legendary bladers. So now, the second strongest team in the entire Metal series, I have Team Nemesis. Guys, this team is scary. I mean, you got Pluto, he's a beast, the Nemesis goons who are all strong as well, and then of course the main man himself, Rago. It's no stretch to say that he by himself solos every team we've already talked about, but we all know that. There's no need to sit here and justify this pick, so we're just going to move on. Ladies and gentlemen, the strongest team in the entire Metal series. Coming in at number 1, we have Team Legendary Bladers. This is Jinga, Kyoya, Yuki, Chris, King, Dynamis, Aguma, Tithi, Ryuga, and screw it, I'm going to include Kenta as well. Individually, they can't beat Nemesis, but together they can. The Solar System Legendary Bladers hold off Pluto and the Goons, while the 4 Season Bladers seal Nemesis away. And if we have Ryuga and Kenta, who both technically have the Summer Constellation Bay, have Ryuga fight the Nemesis Goons, and then Kenta can do the barrier with everyone else. This is, of course, assuming Ryuga cooperates, and I know him and Flash Sagittario Kenta can't technically coexist, but I'm gonna make an exception and no one can stop me. So yeah, that's the entire list. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts because this list was hard to make. There were certain scenarios where I felt like Team A could have beaten Team B, and then Team B could beat Team C, yet Team C could beat Team A. There was a lot of that. Styles do make fights, and it definitely made the ranking process very difficult. So definitely comment your thoughts down below. Also, did I miss any teams? It's very possible I did. And be sure to comment any other ideas you want to see here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for all the recent support on our videos. It's amazing we're able to still enjoy the Metal series so many years later together, and I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.